The group marching right next to me is demanding for justice in the Palestinian and Israeli war happening hundreds of miles away, but being felt right here in Flint. As you can see, there's still tons of crews out here trying to get things restored again. I can tell you there's been a lot of damage here in this little community. It's pretty cool. Did y'all see that? I'm sweet. And guess what? You're never too old to meet Santa Claus. So guess where I get to sit this morning? Right in between. I love to see it. What originally started as a celebration on Saginaw Street has turned into a tragic situation. I've seen busted glass coming through, driving through on my own. I've seen and heard that they say that their water is brown and yellow. But before we show you or talk to you more about that, I want to talk a little bit more about this ride simulator, Lauren. I'm ready to go up and down, I guess. See? Healthcare resources in some parts of the country are already stretched thin, and the surge is continuing to cause major disruptions for airline travelers this Christmas weekend. A little more than a month ago, a deadly explosion felt for miles, racked Hogarth Avenue. 2 people were killed and dozens of houses are destroyed or damaged. A Carnival cruise ship that had a small COVID-19 outbreak is back at port. The Carnival Freedom ship returned to Miami Sunday. The pandemic left many businesses across the country in shambles, but one industry didn't just survive, it thrived. Now, if you're like me, you're probably received these annoying alerts daily, and by now you should know I'm talking about scam calls. It's an estimated $29 billion business that preys on millions every day, just like me and you.
I chose to stay in this country to give my kids a better chance. And now it feels like that's been taken away from them.
Gina Nolan is one of many Grand Blanc Community Schools parents at today's protest outside of the high school, begging the district to resume in-person learning.
I'm just frustrated and my heart breaks for my boys.
Nolan has 2 sons that attend Grand Blanc High School. She says one is doing well, but the other is failing half of his classes.
Even though he's always been an AB student, he's in high math and high science. We really were hoping he can get an academic scholarship, but I don't know anymore.
A concern coming from many parents, including one mom with 6 kids at the district.
Some of them are doing great, some of them are not. I have a student who went from being a straight A student to failing classes. And then I have a student who is actually doing better in online than ever, but he's a senior.
It really doesn't feel like I'm learning at all. It feels like I'm just being told information. I'm being told to go do something, but it's really demotivating. There's nothing to push me.
Some parents say they're noticing a change in their kids' behavior.
Over the 10 months, I mean, they're getting depressed. I've seen his attitude go down, and he's the most optimistic kid ever.
A Grand Blanc Community Schools board member driving by the protest today stopped by to hear parents' concerns.
Have any suggestions? As a school board member, I mean, that's what we're elected to do, is to hear the constituents' voices and to bring those back to the board.
On February 22nd, the board will meet to vote on a proposed plan by the superintendent and his administrative staff. In Mount Morris Township, Remi Murrey, Mid-Michigan Now. Starting June 1st, stadiums like the Dow Diamond will be able to take off zip ties like this one and welcome in a full crowd. And that's just one of the many exciting changes happening ahead.
All right. The Dow Diamond folks are really excited, and I am too.
The light at the end of the tunnel is finally in sight for Michiganders wanting to put the pandemic behind and return back to normal.
We will be able to sing at church, dance at weddings, cheer at games, hug each other, and laugh together.
It also calls for fewer mandates now that all outdoor capacity limit and curfews will be lifted next month. Indoor social gatherings are still required to operate at 50%. However, it won't last long as the governor plans for Michigan to take its final step towards normalcy on July 1st.
We will lift the broad mask and gatherings order and will no longer impose broad mitigation measures during the pandemic, unless, of course, unanticipated circumstances arise.
Which the governor doesn't expect happening, but there are some concerns with what this will mean with her original back to normal plan relying on 70% herd immunity.
So our efforts to do that are not stopping. In fact, we are doing more mobile units than ever, getting to people where they are. But we also know that the brilliant Dow modelers told us that about this time we would see supply eclipse demand and it would slow down, and in fact that's exactly what we're seeing.
Another question arising, it's one a lot of Michiganders hearing the news earlier this morning are probably wondering.
Why are you making this change? Well, why do you feel confident to make this change now?
What we know is that when the CDC came out with this new rule, they have confidence that the science bears out. So June 1 and then July 1, those are the two steps. We've collapsed the back to normal because it just became very clear that it was important for us to give people sure dates and confidence that we can be safe doing this. And so that's why we've reconfigured the plan.
The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services will release this official order on Monday. You can visit our website at Mid-Michigan Now for more information. In Midland, Remi Murrey, Mid-Michigan Now. What originally started as a celebration on Saginaw Street has turned into a tragic situation.
It's sad. It is sad because of, you know, the fact that this was supposed to be such a, celebratory day.
AJ is one of many who came down to Saginaw Street expecting a day filled with fun.
I had my little chair set out in the rain, celebrating, Juneteenth.
Then the unexpected happened right in front of AJ's and another man's eyes.
Shots rang out.
The man we spoke to didn't want to tell us his name, but according to Michigan State Police, around 2 p.m. this afternoon, an officer was directing traffic for the Juneteenth Champions Parade when someone drove up to the officer and fired shots. The officer shot back, hitting the suspect, a 19-year-old Flint woman who, according to MSP, has died from her injuries. Flint residents tell me they're upset this all happened during the Juneteenth parade.
It was supposed to be, celebratory. It's supposed to be a good day, and for that to happen, Flint has enough problems. Flint has enough issues. Flint has enough bad publicity. And this was the last thing that we needed on this day.
That's terrible. This the wrong that they have it. Like, my heart go out to the police officer, because I bet when he left home, dog didn't think, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm going for a parade. I'm just directing traffic. Shouldn't be nothing, That's crazy. Like, it's terrible.
Police have not released a motive for the shooting, and the investigation is ongoing. In Flint, Remi Murrey.